Yes, Double H, Double H. Obviously, I've not been doing this for a while, but for that, I had to do this video here, coming at it really again. The website is www.talkbackworld.net. Real fans, roam around the beach. So, talkbackworld.net. The link is down there below. The review of Soundgarden, King Animal, their new CD. See that there? Pretty. I don't really buy CDs much these days. The last CD I bought was actually no. I did buy. I've bought 3 CDs in the last. Where I've actually gone to the shop. Where I've actually gone to the shop and actually bought a CD. I've done it 3 times, and that's 3 times in the past 6-7 years, I believe. It's a long time. It's a long time. Soundgarden. I was skeptical. I mean, obviously, I was happy, obviously, before when they were reunited, the grunge era people, but then I was skeptical. And I was skeptical in this sense. Stone Temple Pilots, they reunited, came out with their new album. For me, it was rubbish. Pointless. I mean, I listened to it and I was like, what the heck are these guys doing? Pearl Jam have made 2 damn good albums. Ever since those 2 damn good albums, they've just gone down the road. And I listened to their latest album and I was like, what the heck are these guys doing? This doesn't make any sense. I listened to, as I think, Chinese arithmetic, mathematics, or whatever it was with the new Guns N' Roses thing. I was like, well, so basically, fact being said is that, a lot of these grunge guys who have come, I mean, Pearl Jam, they just fell away. And now they now make self-appreciating, sort of like introspective weirdo music where I'm like, what are you guys doing? I mean, what the heck are you guys doing? This is not what 10 Anniversaries was about. Stone Temple Pilots, as their latest album, what the hell is going on here? So when Soundgarden reunited, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, could this be the same thing? But obviously, I was excited because I could look, it's Soundgarden, wow, these guys have not made something for 16 years, And then I listened to their song for, what's it called? Avengers, Live to Rise. Great opening. A great guitar opening. I was like, wow, this is Soundgarden. And then it then went to the main song. I was like, oh, this is a bit, no, not really, And then I then feared that, okay, this may not be what we want for a new album. But then Kim Thale then got interviewed, and then he then said that the Live to Rise, they actually did that specifically for Avengers, and that was basically their rendition of trying to do like a mainstream song, but it isn't a Soundgarden song. It was very interesting when he actually said that the Live to Rise is not a Soundgarden song, which was a song they just did for the film. So I was like, okay, we have some hope here. And then the first song then came through, Been Away Too Long, And at first I was like, no, it doesn't, that's the story a lot in there, But then I then listened to the song a few more times and it began to grow on me. And then I then listened to it played in a Sons of Anarchy episode. And I was like, wow, man, yeah, this is really going back to that Rusty Cage kind of feeling there. So, wow, they're really bringing out that thing in there, And then they then released these snippets of songs, And then obviously, like, I was like, wow, okay, this is interesting. This is some interesting stuff, But then I then listened to Non-State Actor, which was the second kind of song that they released. And I was like, I'm not really too sure about this, And they had like a live show here in London at Shepherd's Bush, And I was thinking of going, but I still was skeptical because I said that, what, I just feel this guy's going to come out with an album that's just shows that, look, you guys have been away too long, and you just don't have it anymore. Or these guys will be trying to either do 2012 and try to appeal to the mainstream crowd, or they'll just make an album that just is directionless and just really has no focus, and it's just like which is what the Stone Temple Pilots album was like, and what Pearl Jam have been like. You're like, oh, there's nothing there, there's no real character. So I was like, yeah, let's just see, you know. But then I just still say, I still like, you know what, I'm going to get the album. Let me just get this album, you know, because I just felt like if let me just support these guys. I was already dead set on saying I'm going to get this album. And I was like, hey, look, man, okay, if it sucks, it sucks, you know. Just like how I got the Pheromone album, his second one, I bought the album. It wasn't so great, but yeah, who cares, you know. So yeah, I went to HMV, got the album, listened to it back to front, and I'm happy to say, I'm proud to fully say, I don't care what anyone says, this right here, Soundgarden, King Animal, this is the best album of the year. I'll go a step further. This is one of the best albums in the last 10 years. This album right here. I will put this album this is one of the best albums in the past 10 years. Straight to you. I was shocked doesn't even begin to say how I feel about this album. I don't believe they made an album like this. I just don't believe it. It's like I don't know how they were able to extract their early 90s, late 80s, mid 90s kind of psychology in the year 2012. I mean, because you look at songs like By Crooked Steps, 8,000 Days Before, Blood on the Valley Floor. Bones of Beds, man. Bones of Beds. That's a serious track. But then you also got some small tracks like Rowing, which is like that's the final track. But you listen to that track, you're like, damn, these guys, like, it's made me realize that yes, there really is a Soundgarden. Soundgarden is really a sound, which is what Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots don't really get or understand. Is that Soundgarden is a sound that isn't sort of influenced by the time zone. Soundgarden is a sound that just is timeless, and they live in their own bubble of sound. Yes, they may evolve it here and there, but this is definitely a thread that follows on from Bad Motorfinger, Super Unknown, and Down on the Upside. It's a thread. Whereas like Ten and Versus have absolutely nothing to do with the rest of the stuff that Pearl Jam have pretty much done. But I'm just saying, like, just the dynamicness of by Crooked Steps, man. The dynamicness of the song, where Cornell goes with his vocals on that song, and just the amount of stuff that Matt Cameron is doing, Thale is doing, and Shepard is doing is just damn amazing. 1,000 Days Before, again, it's like it's really harking you back to the 90s. That's the thing, is like the beauty about this album is that you can feel the freshness of 2012 there, but they're still reminding you back of like, wow, when music used to really get made, just that freshness in there, which is just amazing. And Blood on the Valley Floor, it's just the main way, it's like, it's just a damn groove, man. But and even there really isn't a dud track there. Halfway there obviously is a nice little track there. Eyelids Mouth, a good track there. Even non-state actor, man, is like, it's a track, obviously not one of the tracks that I like the most, but it's the more I listen to it, the more it's like, yeah, man, it has that energy of before. It has that energy of before, Obviously, Been Away Too Long, that's basically like a Rusty Cage part 2, But I just think that the beauty of this album is that, the more and more I listen to it, the more I have to say that, I have to pretty much respect these guys, because obviously, Phantom of Hope, again, he was the one that really told me that, like, yeah, man, because he listened to the album streaming before he bought it, and he was saying, look, man, these guys, I think they've done it, and I was like, whoa, what the hell, like, are they crazy? But yeah, man, it's like, for me, it's difficult to say to recommend this to. Obviously, if you're a Soundgarden fan and don't on this album, you're mad. If you're a grunge fan and don't own this album, you're mad. If you're a rock fan or a guy who plays the guitar, bass, or trying to get into a band, or is in a band and don't have this album, you're mad. It'd be difficult to really say that if you're into rap or into pop or into country music to get this kind of thing, but I'll still say that if you want to appreciate musicians operating at a very high level, get this album. It may not be, the genre that they listen to, but if you just appreciate people really extracting the creativity, the creative juices of music, man, I'd say get this album, man, because it's psychologically deep. Just where Cornell goes with his lyrics, just the amount of density within the tracks. Because I think, because when I was just listening to the interviews, they were saying, Matt Cameron was saying that, like, man, yeah, man, this stuff is quite hard to learn because it's quite complex, there's quite a lot of stuff in it, and I think that's what you get in a lot of Soundgarden songs, that, it's very complex. But the thing, the beauty about it is that the music composition is complex, but it has structure, which is what Pearl Jam and Stone Temple Pilots have pretty much lost, is that there is structure, that it's a song that has something you can follow, that has a structure to it, that has a definition to it, it has a character to it that you can fully follow, it has a personality, it has a definition, it's very clear defined, but I mean, I just think that, man, look, by Crooked Steps, 1,000 Days Before, Blood in the Valley Floor, Bones of Beds, back to back, those tracks right there are golden tracks. Pure golden tracks. And the last two tracks are Eyelids Matter and Rowing. I mean, Rowing that's one of the best final tracks I've had in an album in a very long time. It's one of the best, it's damn good, man. If you wanna try, this steps will take me high. I mean, look, the stuff just gets in your head. It just gets in your head. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. I mean, look, I just have to applaud Soundgarden, man. I mean, I want Eddie Vedder and his boys to listen to this album. I just wanted to sit down to it because Mark Cameron has obviously been the drummer of Pearl Jam all this time, and I want Eddie Vedder to sit down with his Pearl Jam boys and listen to this album and say, look at what these guys have done with this album. Because I mean, I just want to know how this will affect the fraternity, because the thing with Pearl Jam is that people seem to love them and say, oh wow, the America's great band, blah blah. Whereas you guys, you've not really been making any good music. This album should be freaking celebrated. This is a damn triumph. What these guys have done in this album is a damn triumph, because it's one of the best albums that I've had in a very long time. I've listened to the album back to back about two or three times already now, and I'm like, this album is damn strong. It is damn strong. So this gets the Double H full on recommendation right here, Anybody who does, if you're a grunge fan, rock fan, and you don't own this, you're psycho. If you're a music fan, listen to the album, listen to it, because I mean, this is very good music that is different, It's alternative music. It is alternative music that's music, It's because again, if you're tired of all this pop, all this Jay-Z, P. blah blah blah. You want something that's alternative and different and fresh, but it's still good music, man. I mean, you can't go further than this. I mean, because I've been fully against modern music. Most of the music I listen to came out in the 90s or the 80s, and it is so amazing, so refreshing that some people. So this is an album that came out in 2012 this year. That is amazing. It's an amazing album, and I implore you, I force everybody to go out there and support these guys. I mean, support Soundgarden. Don't download the songs. I'm saying right now, don't download the songs illegally. Get it on iTunes, but for me, because I'm old school, go out to your CD shop, buy the physical CD and own the CD. Own this damn CD. So if you're still alive in 10, 20 years time, if aliens haven't pretty much abducted you, you give it to your little brother, little sister, little cousin, younger friends, youngins out there and say, look, man, this album right here is a damn good. If you want to know good music there, thinking about getting into a band, listen to this record right here, man. Listen to this smack. But yeah, man, I have to applaud, you know, have to applaud Soundgarden, man. I mean, very surprised that they were able to pull this off and come together and really stay true to who they are. Because I think it really shows that they really care about their legacy and really care about who they are. And again, you look at Chris Cornell, man. You look at Audioslave, man. I'm sorry, that first album was damn good. The other two albums, like, that first album, it was damn good. I thought that first album was damn good. The thing with Timbaland, people criticized him, insulted him for it, man. But Chris Cornell is a damn good singer, and there were good songs on that album. But the thing, though, is that there's a little thing that says that, you know, however far you go, you always return back home. The thing about Cornell is that in his solo stuff, Audioslave, Timbaland, you can say that this guy's a talented singer, but you always felt something is missing. Something is missing. And once you now hear those talented vocals come and mix in with what Ben Shepherd, Kim Thale, and Matt Cameron are doing, you're like, yeah, man, this guy has returned home. And when you listen to the album, like, yeah, man, this is your home. I feel that the break was the best thing that could happen to them. Because I think that the whole thing of coming back 16 years later with how music has gone and how it has dropped down, I think that was probably a blessing in disguise, you know. But I just think that, you know, when you hear Cornell mixing with his boys on this album, you feel like if this is your home, this is where you should be. This is what you should be doing. The music scene needs Soundgarden. They need them. And I just hope that these guys realize that, guys, music needs you. Because nobody has brought out an album like this since the 90s. Nobody has brought out an album this psychologically advanced, this psychologically deep since the 90s. You know, that's what I'm telling you guys, that this is a world-changing album right here. Okay, because people don't even realize that these guys have brought out an album that has changed stuff. King Animal, get it, Soundgarden, I applaud you.